Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Check the post for Husker Nation, brought to you by Nebraska Spine Hospital. Today I'm joined by a special guest, Mr. Blackshirt Luke Reimer. How you feeling today, Luke?
I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty sore after that game, but we're ready for Oklahoma.
It's a good type of sore, though, right? You wake up.
Yes, absolutely.
Dude, if it's after a loss, you feel like a 90-year-old man. If it's after a win, it's like, man, that feels good. Like I just had a great workout type deal, right?
Oh, yeah. You know exactly what the type of soreness is, but it's a good soreness after a win.
So talk to me. It must have been fun for you because coming out of high school, it's well documented. You're a Lincoln kid. Scott Frost said you grew up 8 houses from his parents, and you walked on to Nebraska. You had one D1 offer. It was Buffalo, of all schools.
Yep,
I was going to ask you, what are the odds you'd play the one team that offered you a D1 scholarship, but it's 1 out of 129 because obviously you're not going to play Nebraska. But what was that feeling like for you going into this game, playing the one team that offered you a scholarship? Did that have a little extra meaning for you, or maybe not so much?
Not so much. I mean, I don't put a lot of stock into recruiting in high school and like walking on. Like it's all the same to me. Like once you get here, you're here. Like it's what you do once you get here. So that's kind of my mindset since I've been here. Like it's just that sort of stuff doesn't matter to me. So I just came in and prepared like how I always prepare for games and ended up having a pretty good game. So.
Dude, preach. I know recruiting rankings matter. The playoff teams every year have highly ranked teams, blah, blah, blah. It drives me freaking bonkers. That's based on my experience as well. But we won't dwell on that. So talk to me. You had 16 tackles. You had the interception. So you guys are only up 14-3. I mean, they're within striking distance. You get the pick. You take it back to the 2-yard line. The Huskers are able to punch it in. Talk to me. It's a little bit of a breakout game for you. Talk to me about this game. Was there anything you did different? Did you have some lucky socks, or are you just starting to feel more and more comfortable as you go along?
I think I've always been like kind of a player that's like the first couple of games I just feel like I haven't played as good. Like I never played as good as I thought I could have. Like going back from when I was, I don't know, 3rd grade. So I feel like it held true this year too. Like these first couple games, like I just didn't think I was playing up to my standard. And then I guess like I didn't change anything. I just finally got comfortable and just started making plays. So hopefully we're going to try to keep stacking them.
Dude, that is people who are on their own worst critic, in my experience, tend to be the most successful people. When people feel like they've arrived or they've done all they can do, even if you're playing well or not or whatever, the people who feel like they're not playing that well, even if they are, I mean, those are the people, that's the right mindset to have. Those are the people who tend to do really, really good things. So let's look ahead. Let's look to the Oklahoma game. You alluded to it earlier. You guys are ready. Okay, I don't know. Have you had the opportunity to watch any film, break it down? What do you see from Oklahoma at this point in the week? And just so fans at home know, I don't know if we're going to release this Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm talking to Luke here on a Monday. So where are you at on a Monday going into this Oklahoma game, Luke?
Yeah, we're just right at we just kind of started going over what Oklahoma does. Like this morning was the first meeting we went over anything that Oklahoma does. So we're just kind of barely touching them right now, but they're obviously a good team. Like you don't need to be told that. Like they're ranked 4th in the country for a reason, but they have a really good running game. They do a lot of different type of stuff. They do some gap scheme type stuff, but they're just a good team. So we're just at this point we haven't watched a whole lot of film on them, but we'll crank the film up the rest of the week. So.
Just based on how you guys have played so far through the first 3 games defensively, the little bit that you've been able to see Oklahoma so far at this early point in the week, what would you say? Because obviously you've done things well. Obviously you can always get better. What would you say are the things that stick out to you that you guys need to do and or improve on to really have a good chance to play well in Oklahoma this Saturday?
Yeah, it's always about stopping the run, especially at college. Like if you can stop the run and make them one-dimensional, like that's half the battle. So for the front 7 especially, like we just have to be extremely physical. They're a big physical group up there too. So that's what we have to counter with, is being just as physical with them and to stop the run and make them throw it.
Do you guys have a little bit of an idea of what you might do to try to get after the quarterback? Because you guys have played well this year. Okay, the special teams obviously has to improve. Offense is starting to find some things here and there, not as consistent as I'm sure they would like to be, but the defense has, for the most part, played pretty well this year. But through 3 games, you only have 4 sacks. Do you have an idea of different ways to try to get pressure on Spencer Rattler going into this Saturday?
I mean, Coach Shins does a great job of mixing up calls for us, mixing up pressures for us. But I mean, we're just gonna kind of continue to do that. Just try to get us in good looks, and then hopefully get them on 3rd and long, so we can really just let the D line go, and that's when we get their sacks. The sacks don't usually come on first and down when we're when we're par downs or whatever. So we just got to get them to 3rd and long, and then we can really let the D line do their thing.
So like you mentioned, stopping the run on 1st and 2nd down, getting into 3rd, longer situations, obvious passage situations, pin your ears back and have a little bit of fun there. So talk to me about being a Lincoln kid, turning down a D1 offer to a good MAC school, and going to the University of Nebraska. Because what we see now is we see guys not choosing to go to Nebraska as much as they used to. Some of the in-state recruits are going elsewhere. Walk-ons aren't choosing to come to Nebraska as much as they used to. Talk to me about your decision. I'm going to assume you're happy with it, but talk to me about the decision-making process you had in choosing to walk on at Nebraska.
I mean, it all just depends. Like, I'm never one to be like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this. It's all based on what's best for your family and what's best for you. So that's kind of what I tell kids that they're like, hey, what should I do for college and stuff? I tell them, like, you just have to do what's best for you. But for me, it was the best decision to walk on at Nebraska. I thought if I was going to play at the college level, I might as well just be playing at the highest level I possibly can. And then if I can get on the field, great. If I can't, I have to live with that. So that was kind of my thought process. And I went with it, and it worked out for me.
So making that choice, walking on, earning a scholarship, talk to me about getting a black shirt and what that meant to you.
It was huge. I mean, just the legacy of it is the biggest thing for me. Like, it's just an honor to wear that and just kind of represent the guys from way back when, and like all the Nebraska greats like that have worn the black shirt. That's the biggest thing for me, is just like, it's just kind of a surreal thing. Wearing those jerseys that the just Hall of Famers have worn. Like that's just it's kind of surreal to me, but it's definitely an honor.
All right, last question. It's a very, very serious question. All right, so this is like life and death matter here. I know they were 8 houses away, but were Scott Frost's parents, were they good neighbors?
Yes, they were. They were really good neighbors. I had a couple nieces and nephews in the house too, and they would always walk over, and they would always just say, "What's up? Hey, how's it going?" and stuff. So they were great neighbors.
All right, man, I want to thank you for joining me. I know you got some homework to get to. Student, athlete, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, Husker Nation, go Big Red. Luke, you want to give them a throw the bones?
Yep, absolutely. Throw the bones. Thank you, guys.
Thanks again to our sponsor, Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, when it's your spine, you do not want to mess around, and experience matters. That's why you can trust the experts at Nebraska Spine Hospital, the region's only spine-specific hospital. They are the best at what they do.